Guys ready? Okay. I want you to obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back and wait for the bell. Good luck.
Jim,
you, Michael.
All the following fights are fights of a kind of context with stories behind them and high stakes. This is expected to be all text, all what we see right in front of us.
Antonio?
The buzz around the knowledgeable fans in Los Angeles. This could be the fight of the night.
And that, of course, you recognize the voice of HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant, who will be with me here at ringside all night long. Things get underway here with a certain expectation at ringside for those who know what to expect from Escalante and Ponce de Leon. And Larry, we've seen Ponce de Leon very many times, and we've watched as he has struggled throughout his career to add boxing technique to his awesome physicality.
They're all aggressive knockout fighters until they get knocked out, and then they try to figure out a way to do it a different way. He's a little bit more under control, trying to control his aggressiveness than he used to be. And Escalante might be the same. Both of them have been stopped by elite fighters. Ponce de Leon by Juan Manuel Lopez and Celestino Caballero by decision.
Escalante defined himself in an all-out war against Jose Hernandez back in 2006. It was one of those non-stop, all-punishment affairs where both fighters had to be appreciated for their enormous effort. And from that moment forward, Escalante has said, that's the way I want to fight. I want to be the kind of entertaining fighter who packs houses. And he does in El Paso, where his last 4 fights have taken place. But in this round, he's gotten tagged a couple of times by the more powerful and longer-armed Ponce de Leon.
Who's being very assertive and you know, trying to establish that this is his ring.
Escalante, or excuse me, Ponce de Leon has also shown, by my lights, Larry, improved defense here in the first round. He's blocking some punches, moving away when appropriate. Not quite as open a target as he has been in the past. And as you suggest, that may be directly the product of having gotten tattooed by Juan Manuel Lopez and deciding that he needed more craft. Incidentally, if he wins this fight, he stands as the supposed mandatory opponent, at least in one governing body's eyes, for Lopez again. May get another shot at him. And he's been popping Escalante for the last minute of the first round and making headway, blocking many of Escalante's shots. Good left cross landed a moment ago for Ponce de Leon, who has had his way in the first round. Hard shots, defining the round for the Mexican star.
Good round for De Leon.
All right. Tony, you gotta move to your left, okay? Keep moving to your left. I want more jabs, all right? You gotta keep that foot on the outside of his, all right? Okay. Shoot that right hand. When he's coming in, go ahead and shoot the right hand, right in the chest, all right? Okay.
Here, hold that one. Tranquilo.
Relax, relax.
Agua. Water, what? Okay, mira. Tranquilito. Pero tiene las dos manos.
Relax, but you know, you've got 2 hands. Use them.
10 seconds out. Here we go. Clear the ring.
Presiónalo, pero mucha presión.
Lots of pressure.
Combi box numbers in round 1 reflected Ponce de Leon's tremendous dominance. He landed 28 out of 83 thrown punches to only 5 of 43 for Antonio Escalante. And you heard Escalante's trainer between rounds saying, you've got to get your front foot outside of his front foot. That's what you need to set up punching angles when you're the conventional fighter fighting against a southpaw. So far, Escalante not mastering that, as Ponce de Leon continues to land Big shots. Another combination for the Tarahumara Indian, Daniel Ponce de Leon. We've told you the story before. He was the youngest of 5 children in his family. All 4 elder children died in infancy. And his parents elected to move from 14,000 feet altitude at the top of the mountain to a village at the bottom of the mountain where he was introduced to a boxing gym. Thus became, as far as we can tell, the only member of his tribe yet to become a boxer. They are such an isolated tribe, the subject of a recent book, that they're seldom seen by others from outside their tribal culture, tending to isolate themselves in their mountain communities in Mexico. In fact, a few years ago, I asked Ponce de Leon, who lives in East Los Angeles, if he had ever seen a member of his own tribe here in East LA, which is almost entirely a Mexican and Mexican-American community, and his answer was no, not a single one. Escalante has stepped up the pressure in this round, trying to get more aggressive. Still has not been able to get past the long arms, the heavy punches, and the improving craft of Daniel Ponce de Leon. And that roundhouse left seemed momentarily to stun Escalante.
Stop. Easy, easy, easy. Stop. Stop, stop, Danny. Stop.
It's been a tough first couple of rounds for the Mexican, El Paso-based Escalante. He has a solid base of fans in the Southwest, many of whom may be disappointed at what's happening right now. There's a good counter left-hand shot again by Ponce de Leon. You certainly cannot fault Escalante for his effort. He's trying very hard, but so far has absorbed too many shots from Ponce de Leon. Good body shot by Escalante. Ponce de Leon prides himself on his conditioning, goes straight back at him after the body shots.
Time. Good.
Our interpreter in both corners is Jerry Olaya, although it appears they speak mostly
Tony.
English in Escalante's corner.
We got to keep turning them to our left, all right? Okay. We've been a little tight these couple 2 rounds. We got to pick it up, okay? All right? You got to keep turning them. Keep moving to your left. Keep stepping to your left. Let the left hands go. You got to put your combinations together now.
I will.
Okay? I want some more body.
El tipo está muerto, cansado. ¿Cómo te sientes,
He's
campeón?
dead tired. How are you feeling, champ? Good. It's easy, right? Water.
No te descuides y nada,
Don't be
presiónalo.
careless. Press.
Presión
Pressure.
constante,
Constant
métele esos
pressure.
golpecitos abajo.
Get those punches
Y
to
ya,
the body. And that's
está
it. He's
cansadísimo,
tired,
mi
very tired.
CombiBox numbers for the second round focus on power punches. De Leon 45 out of 94, a high rate, and a high rate of connecting. And Escalante 13 out of 65. So it's just way too much Daniel Ponce de Leon for Antonio Escalante by my lights in the first 2 rounds. Harold, you see anything different?
No, Jim, you're doing a good job. 2-0, 20-18, Daniel Ponce de Leon. You know, Jim, he's landed some terrific lead left hands. I mean, he keeps coming forward. He's the effective aggressor. You know, good ring generalship. He keeps backing this kid up all night. You know, tremendous punching. I mean, Escalante landing that right hand, the red jab, and that straight left hand all night. He's just taking the fight to Escalante and really whacking him. He's won the first 2 rounds big, unquestionably, very, very clearly. I mean, there's no way that Escalante won any of those first 2 rounds on any card. 2-0, Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Hey, Harold, stick with me for a second here because Larry, our expert commentator, is off doing interviews at this moment. Do you agree with my general assessment that Ponce de Leon has indeed in the last couple of years added boxing skills and gotten much better?
Right, no question, Jim. You know, the guy was a pure puncher early in his career.
Yeah.
He really was a big banger. I think it was after the loss to Celestino Caballero that he sort of changed Now he's got much better skills. He disappeared for a while after the Caballero fight. And when he came back, he had much better skills. He's a much better boxer. He uses that right hand very, very effectively. I mean, very rarely do you see a southpaw that can snap a right jab. You notice he doesn't snap the right jab, but he gets it out there pretty good, lands it pretty hard, and he sets up that straight left hand by sticking that right jab in your face.
Still not in the same league for boxing skill with fighters in the same division like Yuriorkis Gamboa and Juan Manuel Lopez.
It's a murderous division, Jim. You know, he may have to go up against Caballero again one of these days. Caballero may be the best guy at 126.
Right, not as much a conventional boxer, but extraordinary skills and an amazing multiple punch output for Caballero.
Interestingly enough, in round 3, he's doing the same thing. Taking it to Escalante, sticking that right jab in his face, and just whacking him with that straight left hand.
Yeah, you wonder if Escalante has a wrinkle in his game or any other weapon with which he might turn this around. It appears that he's simply being out-physicaled by Ponce de Leon, who has extraordinary physical quality. Round 3, and again, Escalante momentarily wobbled by a left hand from Ponce de Leon. Escalante is stubborn and will not be discouraged. Keeps coming. Hard right hook by Ponce de Leon, and the referee waves it off right away. That is a knockout immediately as referee Tony Krebs waves the fight off over Escalante, and the ring doctor is with him at this moment. What a right-hand shot. And we told you about the punching power. There's the example. And that's why, even though he lacks the skills of people like Caballero and Juan Lopez and Gamboa, they would have to worry about his power, Harold.
Oh, without that. He's a dangerous guy. I mean, it was a tremendous right hook he hit him with. I mean, that was typical of the right hook that Devin Alexander throws when he's really on target. Now, a typical Marvin Hagler right hook. It really flattened Escalante.
Well, Juan Manuel Lopez's right hook might be the best in the sport, but it's more of a quickness explosion. This was a thudding shot. So another victory for Ponce de Leon, stretches his record to 40 wins, 2 losses. Take a look at the right hook, Larry, and there goes Escalante. There was no count as the result of that knockout shot. And here's yet another look. Larry joining us now back at ringside. The left hand to set it up. The right hook, a perfect shot. And there was no more Escalante from that point forward. Larry, you were not yet quite back here at ringside, but referee Tony Krebs jumped in and waved it off immediately after that punch.
You know, my first thought, Jim, because I caught a glimpse of it on a monitor back as I was doing some interviews, that Escalante was a kind of the county champ.
Yeah.
You know, and he had made a name in El Paso and had earned that name there. But this was something bigger than that, and he ran into something he hadn't seen before.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 40 seconds of round number 3. Referee waves off the count. The winner by knockout victory, now the mandatory WBO world contender, Daniel Ponce